This is what you pay your UT staff to do, is deprive you of your rights to walk freely through campus. There's like 20 people having a care circle over here, and these guys are setting up for freedom. This is a freedom zone. There'll be extra freedom inside there. Anybody can get in there. It's hard to get in there because you have to walk.
What are they building a barricade for?
For freedom, because they suck in fascist.
Yeah, you can one more, Mike. Yeah.
Maybe they could take one of their goats and they could slaughter it here and spread the blood out to keep the anti-war people out. Definitely need to keep the anti-war people out of this area. Anti-war people especially are the enemies, according to President Nixon. He said plant drugs on them, plant marijuana on them. That's what President Nixon said to his chief of staff. So he also said that black people were the enemy of America also, and to plant heroin on them. These people have a definite opinion on freedom, but they don't want to give their opinion on anything political, even though they obviously don't give a shit about people's rights. It's cool. I fully support the deprivation of rights under color of law. And I support being on camera when you do it. So all these are UT staff here. UT police are up there. It's really good work. Y'all really get the hang of this. It's going to be really hard to walk through now. You have solved walking.
That should work.
You have ended all walking. Awesome. You guys are the walk police. Do you want a badge? Maybe I can print up a badge for you guys. Get you a little trophy. You can sit on it. Spin. Staircase is closed. This is the best we can do. We give out PhDs here, like candy, and this is the most intelligent thing they can do with their minds. A bunch of clowns. It's gonna be really hard to walk through this. Really hard, super hard. Yeah, this is like it's a permanent fixture of UT now. Is the freedom cones. You want to talk about freedom for a minute? I didn't think so. I hope that you have other smarter siblings. I hope that you have more ethical, principled siblings, because they're gonna have to save your family one day from unprincipled actions, unintelligent actions. So you literally just walk through here, just push this out of the way and just walk through, push the other one. It doesn't even require any effort. A child could do it, but here's what they're doing, and I'll show you how many protesters we have here. So there's a lot of cops. There's 30, 40 cops traveling around. I saw DPS. Several of them said hi to me as they bicycled by name. They said hi to me by name. Here's George Washington, and the erected by the Texas Society Daughters of the American Revolution, February 1955. All Karens unite for white supremacy. They put this guy up who's supposed to represent freedom and liberty and the fight against loyalists, yet UT's hired a bunch of loyalists, hired a bunch of fascists. People left all those European countries and stole my land, stole my people's land to come here to escape oppression, and then they became the oppressors. What is this? What's the purpose of this? So here's the protesters they're scared of. I would say there's 15, 20 people. There's some media cameras. There's more cops and narcs than there are actual, and the protesters aren't protesting. They're having kumbaya circle again. Slow it down. They're trying to do what's called care. Unfortunately, they're working with some narcs from Austin Mutual Aid who have totally co-opted all of Austin's mutual aid and destroyed the camps and just worked with the city and the police. Just the worst bunch of, just go look up Austin Mutual Aid and their history with, what were they called before? The Big Sandy in New York, where they stole hundreds of thousands of dollars from they're disaster profiteers is what they are. So yeah, they're running this care thing. They don't give a shit about caring. But yeah, it's not a normal response. It's not a normal response. I wish I got you guys live. I wish I got you guys live when DPS was calling my name out. Not much going on. It's cool. I just, I think I'll go up top and do some interviews. See if I can find someone more intelligent than those mouth breathers that I just tried to talk to about freedom. I mean, what does the First Amendment say about the freedom of assembly? What is it about the right to freely travel? What is it about public property? The government needs an overwhelming need to make people not walk or not do things. And there's no overwhelming need. There's not even an overwhelming crowd here. The protests that were scheduled for today were canceled this morning or yesterday or whenever, because most of the protesters were still in jail. There was over 100 or about 100 people, I guess, in jail. This is where the police wouldn't let anybody walk through. They would let them walk one direction but not the other. That's the building that the police, UT police shut down. This is where the sheriff's department over here, the sheriff's department had their transport vans. Okay, that was on Monday. Down there is where there was a car up in there and they couldn't get out, and they had crowds around them, and so they shot flash grenades at people and scared everybody for their lives. This is where the vans were. Where people were transported. This is where people were unconscious in zip ties right here. UT students and teachers. No big deal. Lead remediation in progress. Look at that. Ooh, lead remediation. That's not good. That's old paint is what that is. Yeah, they gotta secure that door. You don't want to breathe the dust from that. Make you slow. Cause systemic toxicological issues. Toxicity. Toxicity is both dose and duration. You can have a small amount of lead over a long period, like you work there, staff, teacher, college student that, like me, that never graduates, keeps going to college. Just kidding. Oh, there's another barrier up there in front of the tower. There's more cops over there. Or you can take one large dose, and that will also effectively harm you. Cause systemic damages to lymphatics and cancers and all sorts of stuff from lead. But mainly, I think it causes problems with birth defects in children and stuff. Mental health issues. I mean, yeah, that kind of stuff. Here's a top view of your barricade. Let's see if we can get the cops over there. It's cool. The cops are over there, just hanging out. There's UT Police Department. Got several UT staffers. I think Jay Hartzell himself was out here directing the cops. I don't know, it could have been another old white dude, but there's plenty of video on my live stream. There's about 7 or 8 UT police over there. We are allowed to walk around. So you can go around the barricade. You can go through the barricade. That's what it looks like on the freedom side. That's supposedly the the obstructed side. This is supposed to be the more free people. These are the barricade putter-uppers, the barricaders. This is the side for the barricaders. Here's UT. As you can see, people are able to walk around freely. There's just one barricade because they don't want anybody coming up here, which nobody ever comes up here. I don't even know what the deal is. We've never been, I haven't seen any protests way up here. Are we on the free side or the unfree side? Are we in the west or the east?
I have no
Berlin.
idea. No,
It's the wall, right?
Is this the wall?
They won't talk to me, the people putting the barricaders. They don't want to talk about it because they're just smart enough. They're not smart enough to understand freedom and the law and the Constitution, the right to freely travel, the right to freely assemble and protest. But they are smart enough to keep their mouths shut because they know they've done something wrong. Their conscience is messing with them. But apparently they're here employed by a university that gives out PhDs like candy, and they're not very bright. They're not, may not be the brightest siblings. I don't blame them. I'm kind of a hard ass, but I saw the flashbangs. I got arrested last week for sitting down just with filming as press, my press badge on. Like,
no kidding.
Yeah, they beat the hell out of people. They hospitalized dozens and dozens of people. Monday, and then last week. Yeah, but it was awful. I was talking to one of the administrators. It could have been Jay Hartzell. I don't know who it was. Kind of looked like him, but he was walking around in here. I'm like, dude, EMS over there. You got passed out students in zip ties, unconscious with heat stroke, and you need to get. They're asking for ice and water. You guys should have been prepared. You got cops everywhere and no ice and water, and you need ambulances. You brought one ambulance, and then later afterwards there was all these ambulances. But like, it was too late because like, yeah, they really did damage to these students. I don't even know if anybody died. It was just, they arrested over 100 people Monday for protesting. And the police created the incident. I mean, they created a riot.
So Chicago 1968.
It can't say, yeah, for sure. And I thought we should have had those things wrapped up in law by now. But apparently it's still wide open. You can still put up an unconstitutional barricade just because you support fascism, just because you're anti-Islamic, just because, you know, whatever it is, because your political views, but their political views are sanctioned. And you know how it works. We have to let the bad people talk so we can talk. That's how it works in America.
So what is, there must be a law, my wife's a lawyer. Right?
Oh, okay, cool.
So there must be a long case history of rights to consent. So that it hadn't been adjudicated in 200 years. Well, there's permitting infringement of right of assembly.
Well, we learned through gun rights that you don't have a right to own a gun if you have to permit it. That's what the legislature in Abbott said in the state. You can carry a gun, you can carry a knife, a sword, switchblades, butterfly knives, brass knuckles, all that stuff's now legal, but your free speech still needs to be permitted. Like, I went to the Capitol one day, they wouldn't let me in with my megaphone, and I knew a dude that was in there with his concealed handgun carry in his backpack. And the cops had AR-15s. So I can't have my free speech, but it's dangerous. So we see what the problem is. The problem is the right has been mobilizing, which I don't really believe in the left and right, but the people who identify as right, like Trump and all them, have been packing the courts full of right-wingers. And while the Democrats were, I don't know what they were doing. And so, either way, we're screwed. It won't matter. We're screwed. It's only going to get worse.
So this all went up since Monday, is that?
They just put another level today. I think this all went up today. And there was supposed to have been a protest, but it was canceled anyway, so they're
prepared for...
yeah.
Anyway, thanks for the...
yeah, no problem. Nice meeting you guys. Yeah, I'm in civil rights federal court too, so I work with lawyers. I was getting assistant chief for APD deposed yesterday. I was sitting in. Yeah, it was nice. Parking and transportation. So these are the automatic license readers, like I was telling you. These things right here, they automatically send data off your license plates to a computer that flags you and says, hey, we need to pull these people over and target them. And then the police determine through discriminatory practices which people they're actually going to pull over. Staircase closed. So yeah, this is how it looks. This is your freedom area. How you feel about that? How free? The canine unit, stay back. It's all frosty and leaking because all the air conditioning on. Anybody want to interview? Anybody got any rank here? Where's Chief Davis at?
PIO, sir. sir.
PIO.
Yes, sir.
FTP. You know, this is not constitutional, but it's cool. I just don't understand how it works.
Did you have the lizard last week?
Yeah, you guys arrested me. You can arrest me right now if you want, if it suits you.
Did you get the lizard back?
It's a bearded dragon. She's a trauma support animal.
You got it back.
Yeah.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
Star Wars fan?
I'm a fan of good and evil. Which side are you on?
I was just gonna see what you thought of Andor.
I haven't watched the new stuff. I like the old stuff. I'm old. I mean, look.
Fair enough.
I like the old Star Trek, the old Star Wars. Yeah. Anyways, I'm glad to see you're on the free side of this. You're on the free side, not on the. You're not in East Berlin. You're in West Berlin, right? It's a wall.
We're just here, sir.
I hear ya.
Everybody's safe.
That's a good one. Y'all keep telling yourselves that, and look in the mirror one day. Take a look at how you're dressed. Jesus. So yeah, these are some of the cops that destroyed lives of students the other day. Had them unconscious and zip ties. Didn't have any ice and paramedics for them. They just had one paramedic, and it was street medics, and they were begging for ice and water, and the staff here didn't have it. They had cops, but they didn't have support for people's lives and health and safety. So this is not public safety. This is public fascism. That's what these guys represent. Always remember that. Always know your enemy. Always know your enemy. Most of the press here is fake, so they won't do that. That's what sets me apart from the regular press. Even the KUT press. Where's what's his name? Where's Gus Bova? Where's Austin Sanders? Where's Tony Poletsky? Where's all these supposedly on your side investigative journalists right now? They're hobnobbing with some fascist somewhere, getting paid. That's what they're doing. Here's a map of UT Austin if you want to know which zones are for freedom. The University of Texas at Austin, which apparently is like a junior college because they don't teach the Constitution here. I mean, you should have constitutional law lawyers that should be professors that should be telling them what they're doing is effed up, and it's a violation of law, common law, of the right to freely travel. It's a violation of people paying their tuition, their rent to be here, paying their taxes to create this, and it's a waste of power and money. There's over a dozen UT police here spread out up in this area. We had some in the other area earlier. DPS coming through on bicycle, calling me out by name. You know, they don't know all these other people I just mentioned, but they know who I am. Those other journalists aren't real journalists. They're part of the problem, not part of the solution. Anyways, I'll check in with y'all before I cut out. Do some of this action. Throwing rocks at them and water and ice cubes and lemonade and oh, never mind. We're here and there's like a dozen protesters that aren't protesting. They're just sitting down having a care circle, kumbaya moment. But there are dozens of cops standing around and talking crap about how they arrested me and talking about my lizard. I don't think they're allowed to. DPS and UTPD are here. APD has not been seen on the campus today, and there's nothing going on. So the barricades, all of that you saw earlier on this video stream, totally unnecessary. The police, total waste of money. Right now there could be a student that needs care, that could have been assaulted, it could be a sexual assault, there could be an overdose. There's a bunch of overdoses going on in Austin right now because there's supposedly, according to the news, there's a bad batch of crack and cocaine. From what I'm hearing on the streets, crack and cocaine has been laced with opiates, and not sure if it's fentanyl or heroin or what. Black Mamba, Pity Pat, I don't know, all of it. But we're here looking at beautiful things that are wasted by not very beautiful people that are very dark inside, very fascist, very dark people with our power and money that are hurting our kids and hurting our rights and depriving people of their right to and trying to chill free speech. There was a drone earlier, a police drone. I don't see it anymore. But these are all things that cost us money. Like I've said before, you have to pay attention to where your taxes go. And if the cops have too many goods and you don't have anything, there's a problem, and you need to get rid of them. You need to not just defund them, just fire bad cops. Find out which cops are working for the Ku Klux Klan and the Proud Boys and other white supremacist militia groups and neo-Nazi groups, and find them and investigate and put them in prison. No retirement, don't pass go straight to jail, don't ever see daylight again. Do that first. That's your first step. If you're not doing that, organize with other people that are doing it. Get this anti-fascist work done, and we're going to have a whole lot better accountability. But as long as you've got neo-Nazi skinheads infiltrating law enforcement, the courts, the legislators, the municipalities, all the way down to dog catcher, like basically Lyndon LaRue style, as long as you've got that, you've got a problem. So we've got to secure our rights, guys. We've got to secure the right to not have the same type of fascism happen, to make Americans that I know immigrate to other countries, to leave fascism here after European immigrants came here and stole land in order to leave fascism and oppression in their own countries. So yeah, it's kind of like a curse. It's a European curse, is fascism. Let's get rid of it. Namaste, y'all. Be safe. We're outside Dobie Mall. You can join the Marines right there. The few and the proud, also full of fascists. No big deal. Yeah, no big deal at all. Tomorrow, City Hall, I'll be there at noon. Actually, I'd come in a little early. I'd come at 11. They're saying come as early as 9 usually, so there's a Dobie Mall parking garage where there was a banner drop a couple weeks ago. Nothing happened then. There was actually 2 banner drops down here, and the police didn't even blink an eye. That was free speech. They just don't like seeing a large mass of people assembling, because that's scary to the government, that the people would have rights and a voice. Nothing scares the government more than the people that it's supposed to serve. Namaste, y'all. Be safe. We love you guys. Join the fight. It's not going to go on without you. We need you.